Um, in cognitive psychology and neuroscience, we are not only studying the development of the human brain, what memory is, perception, but how does memory consolidation takes place. Sleep is a key cognitive element when it comes to learning and memory. Um, we that we help the formation is called a memory consolidation, long-term memory. When we sleep, we're releasing toxic nerves, toxic molecules, and we are restoring our synapses, strengthening are parts of the brain that correlate to memory. REM sleep is the most important part when it comes to memory consolidation because that's how our memories form, and that influences on our thinking, creative ability, the ability to think, the ability to correlate elements, and to understand how the cognitive network works. Um, we need a minimum of we need a minimum of 8 hours of sleep and try to avoid any toxic chemicals like alcohol or tobacco. The brain is very sensitive. It's like a sponge that filtrates everything that you surround yourself with. External stimulus, environmental, cognitive elements, factors. Is like a cognitive network that filters all type of information, knowledge that's around you, the external settings, the people who you relate to, the people you talk to, and environmental settings. So genetics, gene, DNA, upbringing, that does a lot to what is called intelligence quotient, memory quotient, intelligence quotient known as IQ. When we study the human brain, we are understanding how the brain works, the anatomy from conception to the hindbrain, the forebrain, how the memory is able to form, how that affects our nerves, the spinal cord. Our brain is like a sponge. It controls everything that's around us, everything that makes your body. It sends emotions, feelings, intellectual development. It's like a cognitive network that correlates to all the different parts of the body. REM sleep is the most important part when it comes to memory consolidation. Why? Because we're creating what is called long-term memory. We are creating what is known as memory that is formed. We can correlate this to a cognitive network or similar to an algorithm, but an algorithm in the area of cognitive neuroscience. Um, it is fascinating and interesting how we're able to relate all those different type of elements, how the brain influences how we think, how we behave, our genetics. It is true intelligence is genetic, is based on the chromosomes X and Y of your father and mother. So, yes, our cognitive skills are based on who our parents are genetically. In my example, my father was good at mathematics and science. My cognitive abilities come to those skills, and that influences when it comes to intellectual development, memory, and behaviors and emotions. REM sleep and memory formation it takes a huge part of cognitive development. The way we're able to filter information, the way we're able to develop, the way we're able to relate. That influences our intelligent quotient, gray matter, and white matter. The relationship with all the interneurons, synapses, axons, neurotransmitters. To growth in intellectual development in white matter and gray matter, we need to continually study, do research, develop the brain and reading academics, and that is going to strengthen our cognitive networks in our brain. In this Ph.D. programs, we're studying what is called perception, language acquisition, problem solving. We're studying algorithms, the cognitive network, the development of the brain from conception to the limbic system. And we're also studying the ability, how the brain is developed, how it influences in creativity, how music relates to our development, intellectual development, as a whole set of components. Through the PhD programs in cognitive psychology and neuroscience, I'll be elaborating more on the research that we're doing and how that is able to correlate and relate to the ability we develop on memory intelligence. So, yes, REM sleep. The ability to sleep that correlates a lot of memory formation. A minimum of 8 hours of sleep helps in reinforce the soma, which is the cell body of the neuron, the synapses, the dendrites, and the axon. A whole set of components that is going to play a key factor on the development of your IQ. Nidia.